Shadow values is always something I've used for addictions, whatever it is that they're doing that they shouldn't be doing. There's a shadow value involved. At least you can bring the shadow value into their awareness and they can work with it. Once you know why you're going towards something, it changes. So remember that shadow values are your emotional link, and we all need them. These are not bad. You need them. We're in the human paradigm. These are all things that you will go after. For you guys, shadow values is our link towards what's driving some unhealthy patterns. Why we set a goal is we figure out where we're going and why. Without that, we've got no anchor point to do all this work. Without that, we have no self-awareness. So that's where we start. It's positive stuff. It's cool stuff. It's like, yes, let's go there. If the goal is something like I want better relationships, then you have to dive into what's in the way. Then you've got shadow values there to say, okay, that's interesting. Validations come up. What does that mean for you? So it brings into the awareness the conversation around what the need is. And then we identify the need. You need validation. It's part of what you crave. Are we going about it the right way? Is it getting you to your goal? Well, no, because I keep on breaking up with people because they won't give me what I want. Okay, so what you're running doesn't work. So we've got to find another way. Once they pull it out, if someone doesn't know that word or doesn't know it's hanging out in the background, once you pull it out, they work with it. They can't unsee it. It's like this itch. But otherwise, we could be playing it out and it's in the shadow. That's why they're shadow values. They're playing out. We don't understand. And we can do it in healthy ways. Like, can you just validate an experience I just did? I'd really like that. But let's just go through shadow values one by one. Belonging is not hard to swallow, right? We all want belonging. Connection, tribe, feeling part of a family unit, feeling like you belong, wanting to fit in. So belonging is something that will drive behaviors, correct? All of my friends used to smoke, every single one of them. So I used to smoke. We're all smoking together. Yeah. But when I want to pull out and I don't want to smoke anymore because it doesn't feel good for me, I'm risking my sense of belonging. Which do you think is stronger? Me looking after myself or belonging to something that's meaningful? Belonging, I'll take the belonging. Yep, ego loves it. Next one is not so surprising, but rebelliousness is part of our shadow values, our emotional needs. We can definitely see that in toddlers and in kids. That sense of rebelliousness is part of who we are. The difference here is we can go after an empowering sense of rebelliousness or a disempowering sense of rebelliousness, right? So it might be like, well, I'm not going to conform. Fuck the system. I'm going to do something awesome over here. And it's good for me and it's good for everybody around me, right? The guy that created Bitcoin, whatever. Or we can have a sense of rebelliousness that is driving disempowering habits and addictions. So we have to work on, I think, a healthy form of rebelliousness, but admit that we like it and we need a little bit of it. The next one is interesting. So number 3 is authority. We have to feel like we can make decisions for ourselves. We've got to be in charge of ourselves or in charge of something that's meaningful. What about the shadow value of attention? I think particularly females thrive with it because we are told from the moment we are born how pretty we are. Men are often told about their performance, what you can do the handstand, good boy. Women are told if they're pretty or not. It's not a great system, but we need attention. How do we feel about superiority? So if we take it out of the category that it's bad and related to arrogant pricks, and we put it into a category that we need it, how are we going to get it in healthy ways? Does it feel good when you're getting towards your goal and you're better than you were 3 months ago? That's superiority. Does it feel good to you when you are engaged with something and doing really well at it, and sometimes that means that you can see that other people don't pick it up naturally? Does that tell you a bit about who you are? But we can use it in the negative form, which is I want to make sure that I look better than everybody else. And we can go about it in disempowering ways, but we still need it. I think maybe the old school paradigm of one abusive partner and one that takes it would be superiority. We know that a lot of that stems from insecurity and trauma and everything like that, but at least in that home, I control this. So all we have to do is understand the shadow value and how it might link to disempowering habits. An empowering way to get superiority might just be to be in a sports competition and win, but still be kind to everyone and train really hard and do all those things. It's fair grounds, isn't it? Superiority is usually one that I work with only on people that can handle it. They're usually a bit more evolved. The others go, nah, I don't think I'm better than anybody else. Validation. Validation kicks in the most, I see, with people when they overwork and then they need to sit down and have a bunch of drinks to signal to themselves that they're important and that they've done heaps of work, and that reward system. Yep. Validation can show up in sex addiction a lot. So I need validation that I'm beautiful and I'm worthy and somebody loves me. That's the quickest fix I can get. Last one is control. So if we're in control of something, we're in control of our goals and we get there and it's good for us, great. Feeling in control of other things might end up in toxic programs. Do we all know a control freak in our life? They need to control everything. They control the emotions. They control what people are eating. They control the whole thing. No, we have to do it this way. If you don't do it that way, nah, it's all ruined. So we have to be in control of the right things rather than in control of the wrong things.